Hey everyone, wanted to do a reading. I wanted to do a reading for this little time frame. Today is August the 23rd. This isn't for any specific time frame per se, but this is the current energy right now. What I did was pull some cards from the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards and the Angel Tarot, both by Doreen Virtue. So let's start off with the underlying energy. The reason why events are playing out as they are, although it may not seem like it. We have answered prayer and major arcana card, unity, traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So with this underlying energy, what I am feeling is, things are happening for a reason. It's bringing you more so into unity with yourself, being whole, being complete, which we are as, twin flames and those on the ascension path. We all seek to, and becoming more whole, more complete. And I feel like a lot of times people are doing this by means outside of themselves instead of really going in to do the work. But I feel like with a lot of people, they are realizing that they are highly triggered by a lot of things and may just, at this point, just really wish to be done with it. And a lot of people may be in a state of confusion or deception, in some type of illusion, or not seeing things clearly. So this is like the answer to the prayer for just being more whole and being able to manifest things in your life, or just for everything to be what you may have dreamed of and hoped for. So this sounds very not in alignment to really what's going on, but this is the underlying energy. The underlying energy is sometimes energy that we can't see that's playing out, things working out or working behind the scenes. But if you are being triggered, like I said, it's for a reason. It's because you're coming into unity with yourself, and you're going to start seeing that in your outer circumstances too, as the answer to your prayers. So moving into the reading, we have the 8 of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action, and self-acceptance. So those are, and the other card, self-acceptance. There you go. So as I was saying before, with this underlying energy, this is what, the underlying energy is what's taking place, but this is actually what you may be experiencing. Like I was saying, just seeing the illusion in things, feeling like you're trapped and you can't move forward, stagnant energy, not feeling as if you can move forward, just feeling stuck and just like hopeless, not knowing which decision to make. And I feel like a lot of people are, being in this state, people are starting to realize a lot about themselves, maybe even a lot about the patterns that they face in life, or how certain things happen and they respond to it a certain way all the time. I feel like a lot of people are taking accountability when it comes to feeling trapped, feeling like they can't move forward, and wanting to make decisions to move forward to get out of this stuck energy. So this is like, it's a mental process that a lot of people are going through just to get to the awareness of, the truth about themselves and seeing things for what they really are, and, changing their perspectives in a sense to get out of this energy. I feel like a lot of people are like really looking to get out of this energy. Like they may have been praying about it, may have been seeking some type of counsel, some spiritual guidance. This is the desire for a lot of people at this time, especially in the, my twin flames. This reading is going to be a twin flame reading. But I feel like a lot of people are more so withdrawn now from a connection per se. But they're like detached from outer circumstances and more so looking within. Starting to turn the mirror inward. Okay, so the next set of cards, we have playfulness, and we have the Seven of Air, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. Right now is not the time for everything to formulate. And you may be feeling this way, like now is not the time to make a decision. We are now getting out of the Mercury retrograde. We're in the shadow period, and still a lot of people may feel like now is not the time to really make a solid decision. And may be focusing on exactly how they can enjoy their lives and not necessarily worry about, the desire to come into unity, to come into union, being whole. Well, I wouldn't even say being whole, but looking for acceptance outside of oneself. A lot of people are looking inward and thinking about, how they can make themselves happy, what they can do to, while in a state of indecision, build their confidence. Doing more things that aligns with their soul's truth. And once again, this is mental energy. Air is about your communication, about the way that you think. Is mental energy. So, you may have envisioned it one way, going, going about self-fulfillment through a different way, looking outside of yourself, but looking towards someone else to possibly bring you that fulfillment and that happiness. But with this energy, it's like you're starting to look within, and being more in a vibrant energy, doing things to make yourself happy instead of making others happy. This is like about you right now. The next two cards is Soulmate and Major Arcana card Renewal. 2 was enumerated, 20, which is simplified to 2, and it reads: review and evaluate, a favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. When it comes to this twin flame connection, a lot of people like the energy is leading into more of a decision now, because I feel like a lot of people were, stagnant, were not indecisive, and just really evaluating things and how the planetary alignment and the energy is moving forward. You're going to come to a decision, especially when it comes to your perception, your twin flame, yourself, and starting to look, I'm going to start seeing the things manifest in the outer realm because of the inner work that's taking place right now. You're going to start seeing things, having a different perception of things, like the way that the universe is moving. These things are going to come natural. These are things that, you're not seeking so hard for, you're seeking answers for. It's just going to come natural because of the way that events are leading up to the point of having this sudden breakthrough. And you're going to know this through the connection of your twin flame. You're going to see that the inner work is paying off. So we've had quite a few major arcana cards. Well, 2 so far. We have a third one up, the Chariot, enumerated number 7. It says an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition, and Archangel Michael. I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling like Archangel Michael has really been like standing in the gap for a lot of twin flames. More specifically, like Archangel Michael, like when you're praying, like he's the one that's really acting on our behalf. I feel that, in all honesty. He's been coming up in a lot of personal readings that I've done for myself. And so because of Archangel Michael cutting all these cords of attachment, things are moving along. Things are moving along very quickly. There's like a focus now. And you're going to start seeing this, like I said, in your outer reality. I don't know, like, what's the time frame on this. I don't know how long these events are going to take place for, you to finally realize, for the collective to finally realize that, okay, it's time to make a decision and change my mind about the way I'm viewing things, because I feel like a lot of people are mastering their mind and, what negativity they attract to themselves, and how, negative thoughts can lead to certain situations. I feel like people are really grasping their thoughts in their mind. And it's been like a lot of detachment that's been taking place. That's been taking place. A lot of releasing, a lot of purging, and it almost feels like this energy that we're moving into is going to be like the start of something new, with a more positive mindset, being free. Okay, the final set of cards. We have the Ten of Water, a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships and meditation. Meditation always represents going within, seeking answers, listening to your heart, being still, and just waiting for the answers to come to you. And I feel like just through the sense of just being still, everything that you want emotionally and materially is going to come to you. I feel like this is going to come through a lot of heartache, through a lot of lessons learned, but it's going to be well worth it. Because in the end, if you're truly listening to your heart, listening to those still voices, then the desires of your heart are going to come into reality. By trusting yourself, you're going to see you trusting more people and trusting the path that you've been on. Really listen to your intuition at this time, more so than ever. Like, don't doubt what you are hearing, what you are feeling. Don't doubt anything in your life right now. And not just right now, but moving forward. Stop doubting yourself. And I feel like that's the reason why a lot of indecision is coming up for a lot of people, because of the doubt there, the self-doubt. Like, people know what they're feeling in their heart, but they're sticking with the decisions. A lot of people, I'm going to say people in this particular subgroup, because a lot of people have made decisions not based on what their heart desires, but everything comes full circle when it comes to that. And this is for certain people who have made decisions that don't honor their heart's wisdom and find themselves longing for what they really envision in their life. Know that you are not stuck in that situation. Know that when the time is right, everything will flow like it should. Just continue to know that, even the decision, which you may consider a mistake, is not a mistake. It is an event to help you see the truth and to help you grow and to help you to trust in what you knew all along, for you to be more confident. Like, all these lessons happen for a reason. If it's not a lesson, it's a blessing. And more than likely, lessons do turn into blessings. Almost all the time. Unless you keep learning those lessons over and over again. But even then, it's serving a purpose as well. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from the Earth Magic Oracle. This message is coming across for a few people. Be patient. Be patient. Just trust that even what doesn't feel good is serving its purpose. Just be patient. Don't rush into things. Don't make decisions because you feel like you have to. Just trust in the process. Because it is a process. It's a process. Okay. The card that came out is Ocean, Ebb and Flow. I'm going to read the meaning to that. An important aspect in the art of living is to move with the ebb and flow of your emotions, join their fluidity, but not being captured by it. It is also not necessary to become obsessed with any particular fluctuation in mood or feeling. They are simply emotions, often activated in ways that are completely beyond your understanding. When you neither minimize nor exaggerate the intensity and importance of your emotions, you then have a greater sense of when and how to express them. You have been fighting the ebb and flow of your own feelings, denying your hurt, anger, or sorrow by either attaching yourself to one or the other and nurturing it as if it were a nursing child, or else smoothing over your feelings with more practiced responses that deny and hide what is going on beneath the surface of your expression. When you attempt to constrict yourself from experiencing your emotions, it is much like trying to stem the tides that grow even more forceful with every attempt humans make to control them. Allow yourself to swim these variations rather than resisting them. So, these emotions that are coming up, especially when it comes to the indecision or even resistance, they're serving their purpose. Like I said, it's a lot of purging going on at this time. And, these emotions are coming up to be released. So if something is coming up, know that it's coming up for a reason. Like if you find yourself being more angry, more possessive, more obsessive, feeling apart, feeling isolated, jealousy, indecision, all those things, know that they're coming up for a reason, because they have to be released. And when it comes to releasing, it has to come up and out. You have to process them. And I feel like that is the key word for this little energy phase that we're going through. Process. It's the processing that's taking place. Transformation of emotions, of your thought processes, and being in alignment with those, accepting those things. Ask for help. If you don't know what to do with these emotions, with these feelings that's coming up, that's creating confusion, that's making you feel like you're stagnant, it's keeping you stuck, ask Archangel Michael to help release you, to detach from certain situations and certain mindsets. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle card deck. Angel of Joyfulness. Something wondrous and magical is about to happen. I know I pause a lot in between what I'm saying, but that's only because I'm very thoughtful when it comes to my word choices. I don't want to say the wrong thing, or say something that I didn't necessarily mean, and just expect for you to understand what I'm saying. And sometimes I feel like I still come across kind of not truly understood for what I'm saying. But if you can feel me during my readings, please, by all means. Okay, so Angel of Joyfulness. Something wondrous and magical is about to happen. This is a time to be joyful, celebrate, and appreciate all that you have achieved to date. Look back on your life and give thanks for all of your experiences. Even the setbacks that you have experienced in recent times have served you in some way. Didn't I just say that? Something wonderful and magical is about to emerge as a result of recent contact or experience that seemed rather meaningless at the time. The angel of joyfulness is here to tell you that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires, and that your life is on the verge of a wondrous transformation. That is another keyword, transformation, if I did not say that. You deserve joy and happiness, for you are a blessed child of the universe. Joyfulness is a state of appreciation and love for self and for all of life. Yet, so often we are conditioned not to accept joy in our lives. Close your eyes right now and tell yourself that you deserve to be joyful. I deserve to be joyful. Say it with me. I deserve to be joyful. And that you accept joy in your life from this moment on, regardless of the circumstances you find yourself in. Didn't I just say that with the playfulness? And whatever card that was, what card was that? Playfulness. And the 7 of air. Plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing and playfulness. So yeah, regardless of what's going on, remain in that vibration of joy, of being happy, being content within yourself. Okay, and final card from the Rumi Oracle. I don't know time frames. Time frames vary for everybody. A word that came up for me recently, after I had like a huge release, or getting prepared for a huge release, was the word commit. And as I look underneath the deck, the card underneath was commitment. So what I'm getting with the commit, I looked over, like I said, and saw the license plate and it said commit. And typically, for whatever reason, the universe gets my attention through people's license plates. Because I guess because I like cars. I don't know. I do though. But one license plate that I saw probably back in March was mastery, and then shortly after I realized that I was in a phase of mastery, and still am. A lot of people are, but the word commit came up. So with this mastery that we're experiencing within ourselves, it's time to commit to yourself, commit to your heart's desires, commit to the vision, commit to your greatest good now. Even commit to what you believe is right. Commit. So let us pull a Rumi card. 2 came out, and I will read them both. We have 16, from nothing to everything. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. Rumi. Have you been shedding your skin and layers, your certainties? Gone are fixed identities and definite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you are releasing too much, and then, perhaps, you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist as you have known yourself to be thus far. Another emanation of you awaits, blazing angel. Something more beautiful and true. Yet here you are, at the pruning stage, like a gardener for the soul. Shall the garden spring back to life, or will the enthusiastic denuding process be rather too much and unintentionally kill off the garden altogether? That is what we're going through right now. With Archangel Michael cutting those attachments, we are going through a phase of being pruned, being purged, and it don't feel good at all. at all. But just trust the process. Trust it. Whatever happens is happening for a reason. Know that your life is divine. Like, there are no mistakes. Even the mistakes serve a purpose. So there are no mistakes. If something is going on in your life that you are totally in disagreement with and it hurts really bad, just know that it's serving a purpose. And if you want to know why the universe puts you through such trials and tribulations, it's because the universe knows that you can handle it, and through the process you're going to gain experience from it. Not all of life is meant to be experienced in a state of bliss. This is like duality. When you become whole, the duality becomes one. So you will know that even the bad, if is for me. It's something that I need to learn from this. When I said that, it's 3:33. So back to the reading. Fear not, your soul is made of hardy stuff. Yes, that's what I just said. You can handle it. It can handle a lot of calling and will shine even brighter for it. There is a great story to be impressed upon your essence than the one you are currently dreaming of. Though you are brilliant, no doubt about it, my angel of love, there is one who is even more so. The imagination of this great writer is beyond our comprehension. The stories that pour forth from the cosmic poet in every moment are so rich they inspire the creation of art and music. One such story is especially created for you, yes you, with a starring role and all the best supporting cast. You shall gasp in wonder, awe, glee, and delight when you hear it. It's a great romance, a great adventure, with an ending truly spectacular and divine. Would you wish to hear it? Become attentive now. Put your own tales aside, as drastic as they may seem right now, and prepare to be entranced by the greater storyteller, the living poet of love, as you are entranced in a tale of your unfolding divine destiny. There are moments on the path of love that seem to focus on letting go of identities, of knowledge and certainty, of opinion, and even attempts at control. We may feel as though we are being stripped back to our core, and even then perhaps further still. We may wonder if we can bear it. What shall, if at all, remain intact through their rigors? We may feel challenged every time we attempt to become something great, as though we are blocked by circumstances beyond our control. Again and again, it is as though a greater hand smacks our wrist the moment we try to take hold of something firmly, someone, anything that brings us certainty or inner stability. Such are the rigors at an advanced stage on the path. We meet this challenge when our soul is ready for it. Why must it be thus? This is a sage question indeed. When we are asked to dispense with our story, the interpretations we have given to our own life experiences over the years, we may not hear the request at first. We may vaguely note it, but not recognize the great divine source asking this of us. And so, we do not give such an inclination due accord. We may persist with spinning our own tales instead. Oh, our mind may fancy itself to be a great wrangler of the word, impressed with its own judgments and declarations. Yet in the light of comparison with the divine tale of our soul, all our fancies shall pass away, revealed as so very frail, like clouds dispatching in the sky. Perhaps we are graced with the realization there is so much more, or perhaps we still don't get the hint and move into struggle as we try to enact what we think our story should be. We hit many obstacles after obstacle and create even more terror in our storytelling. That life is such pain, a struggle, that success may not be for us, that we are forgotten and unheard. Yet we equally choose to wonder if obstacle after obstacle, closed door after closed door, is just a prompt to look for the open window to climb through. And if so, instead of seeking to impose our small story upon the great truth, we can live the truth of our divine destiny. Then something magical happens. We participate through presence, along with the unfolding story of our soul's journey. We open up to whatever is asked of us, presented to us, happening through us, as we choose each day to come alive as much as we can. Then, as if by magic, there is something else that occurs. That would be grace. real, rich, dripping with goodness and sustenance, grace. This is a sacred blessing that enables us to pay attention to open doors rather than closing ones. The divine assistance that lets us know our life is proceeding according to a greater intelligence and plan. Once we stop thinking quite so much and live day to day, we will be blessed with the realization that our individual life story is so much more extraordinary and perfect than anything we could have summoned, even with our wildest imagination. This oracle comes with guidance for you. You are being asked to let go, to receive, to become empty, to be filled. This may mean letting go of attachment to a lover so you can receive genuine love. It may be of no longer holding on to a fantasy of your dream job, but of being guided into your most soulful and successful vacation. It may mean letting go of wishes for your body or health to be other than it is, so you can simply get on with living each day, taking steps into wellness without thinking beyond one day at a time. It is the divine paradox that when we are asked to surrender a story of fantasy, it is because reality is knocking at our door more often than not, with the delivery of what we have been fantasizing about, but in the best way for us. The human experience of this paradox is that you may feel you are giving up hope, that your fantasy is dying. It may be very painful and bring you much grief, but all that is dying is your attachment and opinion about how it must be. This needs to happen so you can stop dreaming and start living. This is what is happening for you now. Do not fear any part of your process. Embrace it without exception, with trust in your heart that the divine is simply guiding you from fantasy into fulfillment. When I was reading that, I wanted to release. Like, I felt myself choking up, but I had to keep going. Okay, so the final card is 14. Let love transform. The spring of love arrives to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of souls to fly. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby, and the body becomes also Rumi. Love is my medicine, intelligent medicine. It takes death and makes it a passage or passageway into greater life. What genius is this? A genius that will render anything and everything as a pathway to life. I have found a bench upon which we may be seated. Nay, not a bench, a love seat. It is carved of precious ruby. It sits under the shade of the gentle shade of an ancient tree that thrives in love's garden. Come sit with me, beloved, as we let the whispers of the great beloved penetrate our hollowed ears, carried upon the sweet afternoon breeze. As the sun begins to set, the colors become vibrant. Even if we are deaf to the beloved's tender whispers, we shall not be blind. We shall be captured by the vivid displays of the beloved's artistry and be transported into peace. This oracle comes to you as a living spiritual gift. Whether you realize it or not, you have triumphed. You have blossomed, succeeded, cast aside that which was unworthy, and taken up love's way. How much delight there is for all those that walk this path of love, of life, to find another precious companion in their midst. You are welcome into this world where love finds a way. There is nothing impossible for love. It is not bound by the mind, and because of this, all manner of miraculous grace works through it in endless creative variety. The great beloved is a show-off, creating with such genius as to be breathtaking. I'm smiling. Can you only imagine, like if you cannot see how the divine works and just know in your heart, like the divine does not do anything small. When the divine shows out. When spirit has its way, spirit will have its way. And sometimes it can be really, really breathtaking, like, oh my God, how did this work out? Why am I here? Like, I never imagined this. This is like so much more than what I expected. Like my heart just like leaped with joy, just knowing that, you know, spirit, God, love, source, the divine works in such a way, for real. Okay, so we are able to remain always in the heart. We will be constantly breathless in a fit of appreciation and awe so great. Truly, there would not be even a slither of emptiness through which fear could enter. What does this mean? It means the avenue of divine fulfillment has been found. You are being given the power for spiritual success. Your heart's yearning shall manifest itself, but you must comply according to the law of love. What does that mean exactly? Do not attach yourself to the form that your resolution and success shall take. Why would we seek to limit love's creative genius thus? No. Instead, trust that it will be magnificent perfection, literally the work of a great genius. Detach yourself from expectations of timing, which is why I couldn't give you a time frame. See, Spirit speaking. Spirit is speaking. Detach yourself from expectations of timing. The harvest will be at the best time when the ripeness is just right. So utterly juicy and sweet, you shall know with certainty that this was the best way. Not a moment sooner would have been perfect, nor a moment later. See? So it's no reason to rush into a decision, because the divine hand is all on this. Whatever you are facing, if it's any difficult decision, any difficult path at this present time, just let it go. Allow things to work itself out. What you do is focus on you, focus on how you feel, focus on what makes you happy, focus on the brighter days. Don't focus on what's not working, because that's just the divine trying to guide you another way. Like, okay, it's not working this way because it's not meant to work this way. But here, while you enjoying yourself, you might find something in that. Or, you know, give yourself some time to heal. Absolute trust is the best way to adhere to the law of love. This gives you rather some energy to spare, perhaps that might have otherwise been engaged in perpetuating worry or doubt. Well, I am so happy to see that you are twiddling your divine thumbs and wondering if you are not going to worry, if you are just going to surrender and trust, then what exactly will you do with yourself? Well, of course, you can't just live your life, but perhaps you may want to dance barefoot and wild with me upon the cool sand at midnight, under the fullness of the harvest moon. Yes, my thumbs were twiddling, for real. Okay, so these are the messages for this energy period. I feel so relieved in sending this message across, or giving this message out. Before I started, I was heavy, but by me doing this is like really alleviated a lot of that stress and a lot of that heaviness that I'm feeling from the purging. So I'm doing something that I enjoy. I encourage you to do something you enjoy. A lot of people are getting more so into their soul work. I feel like I'm getting back to it for a while because of, different experiences that has taken place. I kind of stopped with the readings, and it's been a struggle in a sense to keep balance in between what I really love and what I was faced with. But at this particular time, it's just like, in my heart, I feel like this is what I should be doing and just pressing forward with it. So that is all for today. August the 23rd, till whenever I'm guided to do another reading.